Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Rulo here, coming back to you with another pretty awesome Brickmania kit review, as you can see in front of you. So what we have here is the Messerschmitt. Here's the box. Messerschmitt BF109E-7 Tropical. Yes, this is a tropical variation, as you probably can tell by this awesome printing right on top of that. I built this kit live on my channel. You can check out my live playlist if you want. It's actually fairly, well, I mean, I take my time building, but fairly small build, not too many parts, 342 parts altogether. There are some custom 3D printed elements I'll talk about later. But nonetheless, let me tell you what kind of parts they are. They are pretty awesome, amazing parts, especially for such a small build. You have so many 3D prints right over here, as you can see already on this awesome camo. And yes, BF109 is a famous German World War II fighter. It was produced in mass. I think it's about 34,000 altogether produced. I think second to the most produced World War II aircraft, which is the Il-2. I think the Russians or Soviets had a little bit more of those, 36,000, but just a little fun fact. At the time, this was a fairly advanced fighter plane that Germans made. It had a pretty cool engine. It was fuel injected, so it allowed the pilots to do all kind of crazy maneuvers in a negative G and nothing would happen. Unlike the Spitfire, we had a combustion engine and a lot of things were kind of going wrong when it was maneuvering. So that was definitely a big plus. But let's talk about this E part, E7. So what E7 stands for is just a variant of this BF109. There was many variants made throughout the war. And of course, each variant trying to have some kind of improvement. And like I said, it was very advanced and very good aircraft at the time, but there was some shortcomings. And one of the shortcomings that came into the play, it was during the Battle of Britain, when BF109 didn't have enough range. And what I mean they have not enough range is basically didn't have enough endurance or flight endurance to kind of fly over the channel and fight the British. So a lot of planes, not specifically because of this reason, but a lot of planes were definitely challenged with that they have to return back. They couldn't stay in the fight for too long or in dogfights. So in order to improve that, this E7 version that has what they've decided to do, and this one, unfortunately, this Brickmania model doesn't have it. There's at the bottom of it, they added the drop tanks or fuel drop tanks, which basically increased the range or doubled the range of BF109 to kind of combat the issue, and was definitely a big improvement on this specific variant. And of course, they also have updated the ornaments, definitely improved the guns capabilities. And I think with this kind of drop tank inclusion, there was an also option to include a fighter bomb, so this was also can be done for this specific version. But obviously this is not just the E7, BF109E7, this is also a tropical version, as you can tell by all the prints. So go ahead and have a closer look. I'm actually also going to put it on my mock display, and maybe there you can also see how it would look like in a desert environment. But let's have a look at the prints, and oh my god, those are pretty awesome for such a small build. I'm really can't be happier with Brickmania including all of them. So you have a lot of prints on the side, and again, both sides are printed, Balkan Kreuz, and those right here we have a propeller and a cone, which actually is supposed to be gun sticking out from this one in real life BF109. Those are 3D printed, which is also pretty cool. And yes, talking about the guns, we have printed, sorry about the zoom, we have printed guns on both sides. You can look at the top. Also, I've shown you this. And on the sides, we have our squadron, which is supposed to be a Ju-27, Africa. I think they called Africa because they were stationed for most of the time in Africa in 1941 and 42. This specific squadron. And I actually had a question from Huki. He was asking me about this BF109 tropical one. And he's like, okay, is this guy right here is the German ace Hans Joachim Marcel, I think that's what his name is. And he used to fly in this squadron, which is Ju-27. Yeah, part of the Luftwaffe wing in North Africa campaign. And it can't be for sure. It could be him, it could not be him, because this aircraft doesn't have any kind of printed markings. So it doesn't have like a number markings that you can say, okay, that was specifically him, because they have quite a bunch of them that have a similar camo pattern. So it could be him, or it could not be him. But yeah, that's pretty cool that Brickmania potentially made World War II German ace. Let's go ahead and, while we're at it, have a look at the minifig then. Give you a quick little view on the fig and all the prints that it comes with. So it comes with a 3D printed cappy. So that's very nice, a crusher cap. And I don't know how well you can see it. Has all this kind of emblems for Luftwaffe pilots that would normally have. And let's see at the back side. So the minifig obviously is kind of wearing shorts and short sleeves as far as I can tell. And there's definitely some kind of vest. It looks like it has a bomb strap to him as well. That's kind of interesting. And yeah, this is the face. You can have a little trouble zooming in, but yeah, this is basically the face of the fig. All right, so here we go. Here's the fig. But let's go ahead and maybe talk a little bit more about some of the plane functions. We have a cockpit right here, which is brick built. Of course, the fuselage is always nice when it's made out of kind of Lego elements, but in some cases you just can't do it. It's too small. And here is the same thing. I feel like it's a little bit on the smaller side, a little bit cramped, not many details, but a fig fits in there. And maybe I can fit the fig a little later and show you how that works. But also one other feature I want to show you. And yeah, printing on this side, on the back of the wings, nice detail, definitely nice attention to detail. But I want to show you how you can kind of tuck in the landing gear. So you have this kind of flight configuration. Here you go. And it's very easily done. Definitely applaud Brickmania for doing such a simple, easy to use landing gear for sure. Good job on this Brickmania. And overall, I'm really happy with this kit. But yeah, but going back to Minifig, actually, one thing I do want to mention, I wish this fig did come with a pilot helmet. This is I wish would happen. I wish this came with a pilot helmet, not just a crusher cap. Then it would be perfect from that point. Before I put this in a diorama, kind of display diorama, show you how that looks like in kind of African environment during the North Africa campaign for Germans. A couple things maybe to mention and bring up. Again, not very big, just small, tiny little critiques. For this one, maybe a drop tank would be nice. Again, as this is an E7 version. Not a big deal though, we can pretend that was already dropped. Also, if you look closely, the colors on the box are a little brighter. Maybe giving a little hint of orange. Here, just more of a brown. I don't know why Brickmania kind of did it, but this is the best color you can find. This kind of nougat brown to match what the real aircraft camo colors wear. So this is definitely the best color parts that you can use for sure. But I feel like maybe the boxes are just tiny, a little bit misleading. Not a big deal though. Again, maybe they use some kind of other software to format it. Definitely giving a little bit of orange vibes when in real life it's more of a nougat brown. Another thing is it would be nice if this aircraft came with the stand. But of course it will increase the price as then already kind of this pushing over $250, €250 kind of mark with all this prints. And I'm all for the prints here. This is definitely worth this extra money that you pay here. Definitely good job from them. But yeah, you know, again, subjective. Do you need a stand? If you prefer the stand, maybe you can build your own. Kind of adjust the bottom section a little bit. So not a big deal, just a couple small little things. But let's go ahead and put this now into my mock. And yeah, and while I'm kind of showing you in the mock on a display, you let me know in the comments, how do you feel about this? Do you like this aircraft? Do you like this Brickmania kit in general? Put in the comments, put a like, subscribe to my channel. Let's do it. But I hope you enjoyed this video and this review. Thank you very much for coming by. All right, added BF109 into the diorama. Pilot's inside the cockpit. This thing is a little flimsy, just a little heads up. If you touch it too much, it pops off. But other than that, it looks good. What do you guys think? Let me know. Give you a little bit of view from the top as well.